Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to have a sit down chit chat with you guys, kind of informal. I hope everyone has their coffee. I do. I'm not feeling good today actually, so this is gonna be good. So anyway, so if you don't know me, my name is Winter. I have 4 kids that I adopted through the foster care system, and this is our channel all about that. And also we are active foster parents, and so welcome. If you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. I am obviously not full of complete energy today. I'm just not feeling the greatest, but so I just wanted to sit down and have a little chit chat with you guys about some stuff. So first of all, we still have our foster placement and it is going great. We had a 24-hour prayer meeting in a town that was 2 hours away. And me and Chad, we do it every year. It's a commitment for us to be there. And we always do the night shift at it. We do from 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. He plays worship and I do the prayer part. And so we took our foster child with us. So our 4 kids plus our foster child, so 5 kids, we took to this prayer event, and we stayed with my mom and my dad, and it was awesome. But we had a huge mistake, guys. Like, oh my gosh, we totally screwed up. We forgot this child's medication at the house. And so, I know, bad mom moment. You can shame me in the comments. It's fine. I don't care. But it's what it was. It was the weekend, so like the meds are like technically an option to the foster parent, like whatever they want to do on the weekend. But during school, I totally understand giving them their meds and stuff. But like, this child's a completely different child off their medication, and so like it was just insane. It was just a completely insane trip. It wasn't like they were being naughty or anything. They just had so much energy and so much, it's like someone put a motor in this child and they just could not stop. It was actually comical at sometimes. And my mom was so sweet. Like, she is a professional childcare provider, so she does have the daycare in her home. She's been doing this her whole life. I mean, like her whole life, like maybe 30 years she's been a childcare provider. And she was like, oh, she has a lot of energy, doesn't she? Like, super sweet, and just give me some natural ideas that we can do to kind of get her to be calmed down. And plus, like, foster children, when they're in a new environment, they have a hard time like dialing down, and like it just gets, it depends on the foster child. Some of them like shut down, some of them like explode with excitement. We were in the explode mode, so that's what we were doing. It was fine. And so she literally just talked for like, I don't know, from when she woke up like at 8, and then she talked until like 11 o'clock at night, just nonstop. It was crazy. It was crazy. And so I don't know how you guys feel about medications and children. I have my own personal beliefs about it, but when your child's in foster care, you have to kind of go with like the plan that they have. And so like, I'm all about that. I'm all about helping like these kids deal and help with the drugs and like help them with their medications. And like a lot of times they do help, like especially in school, and like helping them focus and helping them function in society normally. But like, in my opinion, I would love it for them to be off those medications as soon as possible. Like, that's like my goal. With our son, Gabriel, he came into care. He was on a medication for ADHD. Pretty typical for kids in cares that have ADHD. Actually, most kids, you know, like, it's typical. And so and so he was just like, we give him his medication. He would have like a downtime, and like it would work for a while, and it was fine for like the adjustment period, I feel like. And we got him in February that year. But at night he would have night terrors like continually. He would like wake up at night crying, and he would like run around the house, and like he was just bad. Like, it was really bad actually, and like it's scary. He would like sleepwalk and like cry sleepwalk. It was just really sad. And we took him off his medications at the end of the school year in May, and oh my gosh, like, yeah, he was jittery during the day, but like no more night terrors. Like, I was not terrorizing my child anymore. So like, for me, like, the side effects of them were not okay with me. And like, we like, a lot of what he has, like, I don't necessarily feel like he has ADHD. I feel like it was from trauma, like the behaviors we were seeing with him. And now like those behaviors have really subsided. He's just like a normal fidgety kid now. I mean, he has some fidgety things, his teachers would tell you that, but like he is like more calm and relaxed now. So I think there is hope to get kids off medications in the future. That was a medication tangent. By the way, last night when my husband administered medication to this child, like some things happened with her and it just changed her completely. And he actually cried a little bit about it because he was so sad for her, like just that this is what we were doing, and now he was like, it just doesn't feel normal, it doesn't feel right. And I was like, I know, there's nothing we can do about it. We're just her temporary caregivers right now, and that's what we do. But I just thought that was interesting, seeing his reaction to the medicines, because he was caring for her last night as well as at work. And so yeah, we're pretty attached to her. We like her. I'm so glad that she's going home to a foster family that loves her, though. Like, it makes it a lot easier to say goodbye to her pretty soon, in a few days here. But we are completely in love with this kid. Yeah. So back to traveling with foster kids. We had to continually tell her that we were coming back to our town, and just keep reassuring her that, like, you're not gonna live here now. And like, it was just kind of confusing to her because she was just so used to being in and out of homes for the last like while here, so she was having a little bit of a hard time with that. And then also, like, when you travel, you just gotta let them explore a little bit. Every time they come into a new house, you want to let them have a little bit of control, because everything in their life is a little bit out of control. So you just let them go around the house and explore, and yeah, just look around and all that kind of stuff. My family was amazing. Like I said, my mom was super helpful, but also my mother-in-law was awesome too. Like, she actually, like, we went down there as well, and like we had a little family Christmas because they were out of town for Christmas, and so they gave our kids like money and like a little gift, and they had a little gift for her as well. And so I just thought that was so sweet and like thoughtful of them to give her a present. And she loves this little, they gave her this little clown and a little squishy, and like she just like loves this clown so much. She wanted to take it with her to school today. I had to tell her, no, I'm sorry, you can't take your clown to school, but she really loved it. She did bite the squishy and all the goop fell out of it, so that is gone now. So that's life. Stuff does not last long in our house. I think anyone who has kids understands that completely. Like, for sure. Thank you guys, my family, so much for being so supportive. My sister was so supportive too. We just, like, I just have such an amazing family, and they just like embrace our decisions to care for these children so well. Like, I just appreciate their hearts. It just makes it so easy to be a foster parent because of them. Something that I wanted to bring up too in this random chat with me about foster care conversation is my daughter Genesis. Like, she's having a hard time like with it. Like, she is our only girl in the house, and she's like our princess. Like, she really is, and she is like the youngest, and she's just been having a hard time sharing and just having a little bit of a grumpy face. Like, and you know, she has some sass. Like, this girl, she's a sassy. If you've seen her in the videos, you know she has personality and she feels stuff. She's personality, you know, like, she's my kid, you know, she's just like me in a lot of ways. And so we had to have a heart-to-heart, her and dad and me and her, like, we had to have a heart-to-heart and be like, what's going on? Why do you feel this way? And finally it came up that she felt like we loved this foster child more than her. And there's probably a lot of reasons for that, but mostly because this foster child needs a lot more attention. And now her attention that she was getting from us has been divided a little bit into another person. And it's just like if you brought a baby home from the hospital, I think that would be a similar reaction towards a sibling. And she was just like kind of almost starting to be like hateful towards her a little bit, just kind of like jealous and like kind of like telling her what to do and like different things like that. And so I had to like really sit down with her and talk to her and like kind of explain to her like why children come into foster care, not like specifically her story, but like here's the reasons why, and trying to get her to have some compassion instead of like, you know, like, ah, you know, and trying to have her relate on her level and be like, you went through this as well. Like, why don't you help her go through this as well? And so like, she's been better a little bit since then. Like, we had this conversation. So like, that was just really interesting. I thought, like, I just felt really bad for her, like my poor little baby. It was sad. And then, I don't know. We also having some other strange, unusual things happening. Like our oldest son is kind of like, we've kind of talked about this before, he's kind of having an identity crisis, but he's doing pretty good with it, but he just doesn't really know who he is. It's like all about his culture versus our culture, like kind of thing, because he's a Korean refugee and we are Americans. Like, it's just, that's the cultural difference. And so if you don't, I'll put the link below into his adoption story. If you're kind of confused, be like, what? He's a Korean refugee. What's that all about? I should do a whole video on that, what Korean refugees are. That's really important for people to know. I think people are confused because people think he's Korean, and he's not Korean, he is Karen. And it's spelled like Karen, K-A-R-E-N. They are refugees from Burma. So he is like kind of having this crisis too, and like there's this mass confusion about who his biological relative were, because in their culture, in their language, anyone older than you call aunt or uncle or grandma and grandpa. So in his mind, like all these other people were his aunt and uncles. He was related to everybody, and he's like, did all these people like not want me? Why weren't they asked to take me in? Like there's just some like weird stuff going on. So I felt really, really bad for him. So we have a Korean lady at church that has been talking to him and helping him through some of those things, some of those cultural differences. And like, this is really important, like for like kids that have been adopted, like to really connect with their culture. And I think that like 30 years ago, we had some issues with that, and like it was hard for people to understand how important that was. That's why ICWA came to be, the Indian Child Welfare Act. Like all those things came to be is because of the fact that like adoptive parents weren't sensitive to those cultural needs for their children that they adopted. And it is a huge deal. Like people need to find their identity. For some people, it's not a big deal. Like some people don't care as much, but for some people, it's a crisis for them. They want to know who they are, where they came from. That's why all Americans, like most of them, white Americans probably, they're really into finding out their ancestry and like figuring out which countries they've come from, because it's important to them to know these things. So I feel like adoptive parents need to be sensitive to those areas. And so I just feel bad for him, but he's been struggling a little bit with that. And so, yeah. So my last thought on here, well, first of all, I just want to become an adopted aunt. I just want to become her aunt. Can I just do that for this kid? Every kid in my care, I just want to keep them forever. Like, so it's really hard for me, but it's good. It's like a good hard, you know, like it's important for it to be hard for us. Otherwise we're unhuman, and it'd be sad if we didn't want them to stay. So like for real, it is a good thing to want these kids to stay forever. But like, I don't know, can I just adopt them all and be their auntie? I don't know. They can go, I don't know. This brings up another question for me and Chad. We were talking about this last night or night before last night. And like, if we adopt again, like, could we bring foster children into our home? We can only have up to 6 kids in the home at a time. So there is a limit to the foster care, the number of kids you can have in your home, which is good. Like, I know in other states it's not like that. I know of a family on YouTube that has adopted 18 kids. 18 kids. Yeah, they're called the Crazy Middles. I'll link them below. They're amazing. You should watch their channel. It's amazing. And like, so it's, I know it's different from every state, but in our state it's only 6 kids. So we were talking about it, like if we adopt another one, we wouldn't be able to do respite care situations. And so that would be kind of sad, or we couldn't do temporary foster care placements. So we were just talking it through, and like it'd be, and like we do want to adopt again. We just don't know. I don't know. This made us want to adopt again. I don't think we've ever announced that before, that we want to adopt again, but I feel like in the future we will definitely be a bigger family than a family of 4, for sure. Maybe it's just because I feel sick, but like I know for sure, I feel like in my heart that like we will be a family, at least 5 kids or maybe 6 kids. So like that is kind of where we're heading, but I don't know where that's gonna head or what it's gonna look like, whether it's gonna be international or domestic through foster care. It's really up in the air at this point. I don't feel like it's gonna be an infant adoption. I don't think so at this point. That's just not in my heart. There's lots of people that want to adopt infants, so I'm gonna stay in my lane. So yeah, I really want to hear from you guys. Like, I know that there's people watching these videos, and so if you made it to the end of this video, I would love for you guys to put a comment below or a question below about foster care or about your experience. Like, I really want to know. I want to know what you think. I want to know your questions that you have about foster care. Like, it's just, for me, it's just like breathing. Like, I know like what we do, but like I don't know what you guys are thinking. So I would love to hear from you guys and like hear your comments about everything foster care. So anyways, I hope you guys are having the best day ever, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.